What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Welcome to the breakdown. It is Friday. For those who didn't know, it is Friday. You're welcome. July 24th, 2026. I don't know why I'm laughing. Oh my God. You know why I'm laughing? Because it took me so long to get on here today. I don't know what's happening with X right now. I don't know what's happening with Twitter, but Jesus Christ. And then, yeah, as I'm going live, the announcement comes out that LeBron James is going to the 76ers, which was like, all right, cool. I can't wait to see. It's going to be 100% will probably be Philly versus the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. And the Knicks are going to absolutely destroy them. 100%. Listen, LeBron James is 41. Listen, it is what it is, but he got a lot of miles on him. But they do have a squad now. It makes them a contender. 100%. That made them a contender, man. Man, oh man. Well, welcome again. I've been trying for the last half an hour to get on here, on X particularly, and for some reason it didn't populate. Usually when you go live on X, formerly known as Twitter. All right, shout out to I don't know what it is. Something's wrong with X, at least on my side. I tried to start the show 3 times. So I tried everything to get on and it wasn't working. So anyway, welcome. Sponsored by Midnight. Shout out to Midnight. Today we'll go into Midnight City. We'll see what my agent is doing out there, okay? What he's been up to. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in. I would appreciate it on the Twitter side if you guys can reshare the live I would appreciate it because I don't know if people can actually see me today on Twitter. I know people will probably I know some people have switched over to TikTok or to YouTube or whatever to watch the show. But if we can go ahead and retweet that shit over there on or reshare or repost or whatever you call it now on Twitter, that would be I'd be grateful for that. Shout out to everybody. Of course, shout out. I'm also under this little restrictive ban on TikTok, even though my appeal was approved. Working, it is just crazy. It is crazy the way TikTok operates, and I'll get to that because TikTok has the opportunity to really be one of the most dynamic platforms, social media platforms out there. And they really do restrict voices that don't align with their narratives. So I'll touch on that as well. That's kind of political too. It really is. Because once they know that yeah, and this is the truth. Once they know that you're not a Democrat or you don't lean blue, it's over. It is absolutely over. And yeah, my account on there is political, which, obviously I've been trying to turn that into an account that not just reports on political issues, but also on, crypto and everything in the TriFi world. But let's also give a shout out to Polymarket. Polymarket is the official prediction market sponsor of the breakdown. Also, Cake Wallet, one of the most secure hot wallets that we have in this industry. If you're looking to hold your Litecoin, Bitcoin, Zcash, Monero in a wallet with security, you will look at Cake Wallet. You will also love the Cake Pay feature. Also, the team has come out with a new product, not paid for it. Sponsors only Cake Wallet, but here I go, because there is something that has been a need in this space for a very long time, especially for Bitcoiners. They came out with Radar Chat. Check that out. You can send stats to your friends. You can onboard people into the crypto space. So there you go. And G Markets, for all your, if you want to get the latest information in the markets, you can go to gmarkets.io. It is free. It is absolutely free to go ahead and go on there. Okay. You guys have no excuses. You have absolutely no excuses. By the way, I won't say who this was, but there was a message that came through yesterday as I was working, and somebody wished and prayed that I would wake up today with bags under my eyes. But unfortunately, that did not happen. Okay, that did not happen. It didn't happen. Anyway, just wanted to put that out there. There are people that are they're absolutely jealous that a man can wake up like this and look so handsome. By the way, I am not wearing a suit today. If you guys did not notice, casual Friday today. Listen, it is 90 degrees outside, okay? I looked at my suit today as I'm struggling to press live on my show today and it's not working. I'm like, fuck the suit. Fuck the suit. I'm just gonna keep it casual today. Keep it casual, okay? Keep it motherfucking casual. Top tier looks maxing, somebody says in the chat. The dog army's in the motherfucking building. There's a white bull army that's in the goddamn building. Where's I keep saying this. Where are all these communities that say that, hey, we're out here, we're talking every single day. You don't mention us. You don't see us. I don't see you. I absolutely don't see you. I don't see all these. This is what I mean. This is what I mean. This is exactly what I mean. You got people out here talking about like, yo, we're the realest community on the planet, and then you don't see them. You don't. I've seen so many communities come and go. So many communities that talk about they're about this life. So many communities, so many people that talk about I'm about changing and being a part of movements, what I talked about yesterday. and they don't show up, or they show up for a few days and then they're gone. The current space is addicted to gambling. This space is absolutely addicted to gambling. And they have absolutely no belief in anything. Zero. You know, I think 90 days is a fair assessment of where your so-called community is. I think 90 days, 100% is a fair assessment now. Thinking, as I've watched, especially since I created my Pump.Fun wallet, I've watched people come and go. I have it written, like I said, I have it written down here in the book of David, who was about that life and who wasn't. And there's a lot of things that I want to recap in crypto. I really want to recap a lot of things that I've personally seen. And it's not that I've wished for people not to do well. Here's a guy, and here I'll show you this Electric Cowboy, right? This guy, another guy, who within a week's time, let's look, in a week's time, he will be talking about how legendary of a figure I am. But he says, I didn't go ahead and bridge over to Robinhood. Like, this man knows what I do on a 24-hour, 7 days a week basis here. The mindset with people like him is race all around these chains and destroy yourself. That's what he's done. He's in my chat right now. Think about it. If he was making money, respectfully, somebody like him who, if he was making money, he wouldn't be here. He comes to this show because he seeks advice. He won't tell you guys. He won't make that statement. He won't come out and say, you know what, David, I need help. I need your help. But he'll come in here. Dirty, homeless looking motherfucker will come in here and he'll watch me. And he'll look for clues and any signs. Shout out to Fran on the TikTok side. Fran runs along with Tech. They run the show over there on the TikTok lives. As long as we stay live and we don't get taken out right now under a restriction, you won't go. Bro, my PNL. Stop it, bro. Stop. You're not gonna convince anybody. You made $6 in this space. Stop. Shut the fuck up and go. Nobody wants to hear your story. Go PNL with me, man. Come on, are you fucking serious? The fuck? Are you fucking serious? Jesus Christ. I will behave today. I promise. I'm going to be on my best behavior. My watch is worth more than your life. Just leave. Leave today. Go outside. Tell your friends that you're rich. Okay? Go tell your friends that you're rich. Okay? Go tell them you made fucking $30,000 in the last 9 months. Okay? Trading. Go. I'll give you $30,000 that you've made in your entire lifetime in crypto. Go tell your friends that you did very well. Go. Run along. Don't waste my time. Motherfuckers make $30,000 one time on one play, lost on 35 other plays. They're still underwater, and here they are coming at the king. They're coming at the king, trying to say, let's go band for band, let's go P&Ls. Let's go P&Ls. Are you fucking kidding me? I got a watch. I got a goddamn watch that is worth more than your entire bloodline combined. Let's go P&L. Let's see. Let's look at P&Ls. Motherfucker, you should be looking at Indeed.com. You should be looking at fucking CareerBuilder.com. You should be filling out applications. You should be applying for IHOP. That's what you should be doing. IHOPing it. Let's go P&Ls. There is nothing you can say. There is absolutely nothing. Zero. Nothing you can say that I can't say about myself. Nothing. But there's one thing that I can say. You are a broke ass motherfucker. And that I can absolutely confirm. And I hate saying that. I really do. I hate fucking saying it. I hate saying it. I hate being this way. Fries in the bag, little homie. That's right. When I pull up to the drive-thru, you better get the order correct. This is the thing, man. This is the thing. You know what? I don't know. I hate dragging myself into this kind of stuff, but sometimes I gotta be a father figure to these motherfuckers. I gotta be unk, even though I don't look like a unk. But I got to take the belt down and take the belt to ass. We gotta keep it 100 real here, man. By the way, some of the TikTok people, you're not seeing the conversations that are happening on X and YouTube. It sucks. Hopefully Restream integrates everybody so everybody can see everybody fucking talking here in the chats, and I can see everybody talking in the goddamn chats. Like, these people, you're mad. Instead of coming onto this show and being a good participant and trying to figure out how do I position myself right for the next run, motherfuckers want to roll up and talk about, yo, let's go P&L. Let's look at profits and losses. Let me see your profits and losses, son. Let's go ahead and look at that. You sound stupid. You sound like a moron. You sound like a moron. Notice how the best traders on this app have like hold on. And I'm gonna rip him on this one. Notice how the best traders on this app have like 300 followers, by the way. I'm sorry for being an exciting figure and people want to follow me. I'm so sorry. Let's keep going. Meanwhile, watch KOLs, which I'm not a KOL in the crypto space, 100%. But okay, I guess. Like David, rely on paid promos and free allocation. Show me the free allocation. Somebody give me free allocation already. Somebody. I'm sending invoices to some motherfuckers. And paid promotions. That's right. A stupid motherfucker like this, he's the guy that says you cannot have a show and you should not have sponsors. That is right. If you listen, this is the people that I'm talking about. So I've been talking about this for 2 weeks. You have broke ass individuals who have never, ever built anything in their lives. And they come to the King's chat. They come to the King's chat. And they're sitting in here. And they have 300 followers, and you're not supposed to take sponsors for your show, and your business is supposed to be a non-profit. He is a fucking socialist. These people, get them away from me. You didn't rage bait me. I'm having fun. You're entertaining. Okay? I feel bad. I honestly really do feel bad. Imagine saying you can rage bait a New York City motherfucker. A guy who grew up in New York City. You can rage bait me? Like, come on. Come on. You're broke. You're sad. Motherfucker comes in here with, I made $30,000 in 9 years. And I know people who have 300 followers and they're so much better than you. I'm telling you, this is the motherfucker that walks around with ripped sweatpants, okay? Like the cut. He's smoking Newports. He's rocking used Crocs, okay? Not even brand new Crocs, used Crocs. And he got the little those little pins of cartoons attached to the Crocs. And he's walking around with a fucked up haircut. Even if, you know what? I gave you too much. You ain't got no hair. And he's walking around. And this motherfucker wakes up at fucking 11:45. And he makes sure, you know what? I will be in David's lives. I'll be in his lives. I'm going to let him know that I made $30,000 in 9 years. Even though I'm down bad. Because I ain't going to tell you about the 94,000 other things that I went into and I destroyed myself. There will be never a day, not a single day. And this is the motherfucker you will never see at a conference. Let me say something. You will never see this motherfucker at a conference. You will never see this motherfucker at a get-together. This motherfucker got one eye. Welcome to the breakdown. Are you not entertained? Is this not why you're here? Are you not entertained? Warriors, come out and play. Welcome. Welcome. Bro, you ain't stealing nothing, man. You stop it. Ugly ass motherfuckers in my chat. Stop it, bro. Yeah, whatever. I can't with these homeless people. Somebody help me, man. Oh my God. These ugly ass motherfuckers. Anyway, look, let's get back to crypto, man. And a lot of you on the TikTok side are not seeing the conversation, man. Like, I feel bad. I even feel bad doing this. I really do. I kind of like feel bad. Cause I might be the dude might have a poster of me on his goddamn wall, and here I am, an idol, just absolutely destroying a fan, and I feel bad. It's the guy from Happy Gilmore that's putting lipstick on himself and looking at names in a fucking book. You just don't know. I don't trust any motherfucker that parts his hair to the side, man. Yo, he walks into the club like... y'all asked for this. I didn't want to do this. Y'all asked for this shit, not me. You know he walks in. What's up, What's up, girl? Mr. Cereal Girl. Tell me not that he doesn't walk in like playing that. Who sings that song? Mr. Steal Your Girl. What's up, girl? Look at my NFT collection. Look what I got airdropped into my wallet. Look what I got airdropped. Now I try to be nice. I absolutely try to be the most humble superstar in the game. Like I really do try to be a humble ass superstar. I try my hardest. Friend, I try my hardest. I really do, friend. I try to be humble. And even today, I'm not even wearing the suit. I'm trying to be relaxed, cool, calm, collective. I don't want beef. I want to bring everybody together. Even the poors. I want to bring everybody together. And when I say poors, the people here. I'm talking about the mentality. I'm trying to make people better. Then I get this guy. Every day I get a random person. Just a random fella that comes into the chat. And I win them over. Look at little Johnny. He hasn't come back, but I heard he's doing phenomenal at Burger King, okay? Heard he's doing great at Burger King. Little Johnny Jojo, he's doing great at Burger King. Okay, he was in here, yada, 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 running his mouth. I laid the smackdown on his ass. I put the belt to ass. And little Johnny, he woke up one day and he said, I am going to be the best assistant manager at Burger King. I'm going to get your Whopper right. Okay, double Whoppers. And every day and then we had Elvis. Elvis came in here. He was absolutely, running his mouth at me. I took the belt and I took it to the ass, and then he changed. He said, oh my God, I realized, number one, I can't troll him on his appearance. Number two, he really is the definition of sex. Number three, he is absolutely smart when it comes to crypto and fun. I can't really get at this motherfucker. And he's like, you know what? I'm having a moment. Elvis was like, I'm having a moment. God, I have seen the light. God, I thank you so much for making me tune into David's show, The Breakdown every episode on the GNN network, Gokshi Media. Oh my God, one of the greatest independent media companies of all time. And they're only going high. Thank you so much for thank you. I'll tune in now from 12 to 2 to watch this man. And I'm better for it. I just needed a belt to my ass. I needed somebody to give me a reality check. I don't want to live with grandma no more. I want a girlfriend or a boyfriend. I just want somebody in my life to love me. I want somebody to love me. And Elvis, he went outside after the show and he looked into the sky. It was blue and he said, God, I just want to be loved. God, I just want to be held. God, I swear, I'm 43 years old, and I thought I was gonna lose my virginity at the prom, but it never happened. And here I am, sitting like a virgin. Listen, I've helped guys. I've really helped guys. And then you had this other guy come in today. And he'll come back next week. And he'll say, you know what? David helped me. You know, I came into his chat hot. But David helped me. And now me and my boyfriend are really happy. There you go. Electric and his boyfriend are really happy. We finally made the commitment. Love to see it. Anyway, welcome to the breakdown, episode 754. 754, man. I think we're going to do absolutely phenomenal in crypto. I really do. But I want to break down all the things that have happened in crypto, what I've seen go wrong with certain projects. And this is not me playing Monday morning quarterback either. I want to see projects succeed 100%. I do want to see people succeed. If you have not reshared this room, by the way, I want to tell you this right now. First of all, there is absolutely zero chance there is any other show that brings this sort of electricity to your goddamn phones, to your goddamn desktop. You know this for sure. You tune into some of these shows, they're fucking boring as hell. You need to bring a goddamn pillow to the goddamn show. If you say otherwise, you're lying out your teeth. You're absolutely lying out your teeth if you think that you could go to any of these other shows and you listen to them, and it's just like the title says, let's talk about Bitcoin or let's talk about crypto, and you come into the goddamn show, your goddamn space, and the title does not reflect the conversation because they're talking about underwears. And I'm like, what does this have to do with the topic? What does this have to do with what we're talking about? This is why a lot of these spaces are trash. I call them for what it is. A lot of these spaces and these shows are trash. Everybody's trying too hard. They don't even look like themselves. Like, seriously, you're trying too hard. You're really trying. Just be you. Here's some advice. You want to be a creator? Just be you. Loosen up. Loosen the fuck up. I come on to the show every single day. I don't need a script. I know what's happening. I know what's happening out in these streets, and I'll talk to the people. I'll talk to the people that show up, and I'll break it down. I don't need a script. Y'all some boring mannequins. Hey, look at these live shows. Nothing. They're not even entertaining. Anyway, we'll be right back after this commercial break. Somebody go check on that electric company guy, man.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh, wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy to use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Who the fuck is this? Hey, listen, we have somebody from YouTube saying, let me run this back. Who is this? It's a long time listener too. Snowman, what the fuck, man? What does this have to do with crypto politics, AI, and updates? Sounds like a bunch of complaining and self-boosting today. Hold on one second. Come on. Stop it. Stop it. Without me, who the fuck you gonna watch? I talk about crypto all the time, and I'm going to get to crypto, so relax, okay? I understand you took the day off from work to watch me today, and I respect that, okay? I will always respect the fact that you tune in to every goddamn show to see me go ahead and lay it down for everybody in layman's terms. I absolutely love you, okay? No Diddy. By the way, I put it out there. Don't tell me you got a loud community and I don't see you in the chats. I don't see you in the replies. Don't tell me about, and then you want me to chart or even look at or break down your goddamn projects. No. You want me to break down your projects? You show up here every single goddamn day. Snowman, I was just fucking with you. I know you're laughing. Relax. Don't get butthurt. All right. Don't be like some of these people. Okay. Here we go. Restricted here again. Live. Your live is not eligible for a recommendation or restricted in the search because it produced unoriginal or reproduced content. This is ridiculous. I can't play ads on TikTok. Appeal. Hi, sponsors. And all the work has been done. My staff is getting this is ridiculous. Again, as soon as we start moving, there is a hater. I'm telling you, there has to be a hater sitting in the TikTok chat that is just absolutely pressing report. You know who it is? It's the KOLs on TikTok. I figured this out. The KOLs and influencers are on TikTok. They do not want me here. They do not want me on the TikTok platform live streaming because it doesn't benefit them when I'm out here bringing on guests and giving out information for free. They have things to sell you, and I am fucking up their businesses. Okay? Because they got that ebook. They're telling you how XRP is going to $50,000. They're upset. They are absolutely 100% upset that when I come on here, I am telling you that no. There is no $50,000 per token for XRP. That's not happening. Okay? So they get absolutely fucking upset with me. Because now they can't sell you the ebooks. Okay, now they can't sell you the shit that they got listed on the TikTok shop. They can't do these things. Here we are consistently getting organic, concurring 200 to 500 people showing up on TikTok. And as soon as that happens, oh my God, we can't let that happen. XRP isn't trash, but it's not going to $50,000 per token. We can be realistic, okay? And acknowledge that XRP is not going to $50,000 per token. And there's nothing that I'm saying that is wrong. Let's be honest about it. $8, maybe $15. But when you go ahead and say $50,000 and some of these people that are on here selling you an ebook tell you that XRP, and I remember this 10 days before the new year, they said, hey, this shit is going to $25,000. Here's why. That is why our space is so fucked up. This is what I talk about. We need our leaders to step up. We need people who actually provide value to say, no. This ain't happening. Like, it's not gonna happen. If you're going into XRP based on it going to $50,000 per token, you're smoking crack. Okay, let me stop you from hitting the crack pipe. Let me go and tell you exactly what's going to happen here. Number one, XRP's top is probably 15 to 18. If you really want to really go high, that's not bad either. That's not bad. But $50,000, do you understand? $50,000 per token XRP. That would mean that the traditional finance system has sold off gold. Check this out. They're going to sell off gold. Forget about precious metals. Rotates into XRP, Bitcoin, everything. There is no more. Everybody just uses XRP, basically. That's what we're talking about. That's all we're talking about. And that's crazy. It's impossible. Realistic goals: $5, $7, $9, $15. Okay. That's normal. I can see it. I'll be fine with $8, $9. Legit, I would be fine with $8, $9 XRP. Just saying. Absolutely. All right, so this is what I see. Moving along, and that's who. That is bottom line. That is what's happening on TikTok. 100%. I am being generous. I am 100%. I am being generous. Anyway, let's talk about what's happening in crypto. Let's talk about what's happening in crypto. Okay? Let's talk about crypto. The KOL meta or the creator coin meta, whatever it is. Number one, how do I feel about it? I think that if you've built a platform and you want to grow your audience, go for it. But build it correctly. Build it right. Don't rush, build it right. Because when you rush into it, because your ego comes into play, you're going to lose. I've watched, and this is not a shot at Ansem at all. I actually believe Ansem's token would be higher in market cap if he did not airdrop. But Ansem was first to market with this creator coin thing. And he was doing shit to me. Again, it's the way I look at it. He was doing things on the fly. And I say that respectfully. Everything's still new in crypto. You still learn. I believe if Ansem did not do the airdrops, if he had more supply control, the token would be at, everything needs to retrace, respectfully. Everything needs to retrace. No doubt about it. These are healthy corrections when things pull back. But when you airdrop people and then you have people that profit take, you're doubling and tripling the pressure. And now you go, and look, he said it, this is long-term for him, 10 years, multi-cycle, okay. But people that get into Ansem need to understand that, number one, you got to be patient. That's number one. You got to be patient. But I think it would have held higher if he had more control. That's it. I think it holds higher if it has more control. Is it up at 6 million right now? If he has more control? I don't know. But I think it's not at its current price point. I think it hovers around $300 to $400 million. That's what I'm thinking. Now, this could be this can be an opportunity for you if you believe. So if you believe in Ansem and you believe everything that if you believe in his roadmap, if you believe in whatever he's trying to do, then this is an opportunity if you missed out, right? It really is an opportunity if you missed out. I'm just saying that once you give away supply, unfortunately, it's really the state of the trenches. It's really the state of the crypto industry. People don't hold anymore. And that's you could be, it doesn't matter who you are, the president of the United States of America. You could be Trump. When you don't have control of supply in this current industry and the foundation has not been built, it's very difficult. See, in the chat, it was about giving back to the community who builds. His whole perception or perspective, was different, David. You're not listening to me. Number one, you don't reward people. I'm sorry, I'm taking a different approach. You don't reward people that are not riding with you. You just don't. I think it's a bad formula. If there's one kink, if there's one hole in that flywheel, it is rewarding people that have not done anything to help build your platform, to help introduce people to your platform, to help build out the foundation to your platform. That is a big problem, and that's not who you reward. If you're going to even think about airdrops, number one, you do it when the market cap is way higher. So imagine this. If Ansem hit 400 million, or let's say 300, let's say even 200 million, right? And now he starts airdropping his most loyal holders. It continues to go up. Yeah, there's going to be profit taking. No doubt about that. There's going to be fucking profit taking. 100%. People are going to take profit. Especially in this current era, people will take profit because people are scared. People are just scared to hold because they feel like they're going to wake up the next day, no matter what the name is. They feel like they're going to wake up the next day and their ports are going to be down half, cut in half by 50. I just don't think airdrops are good right off jump. I think you do it once your foundation's built, once you really do have a passionate cult. Forget about even community, a cult. And this is why I've taken my time looking at all this stuff. I've taken my time, and I have things that I've noted down that I won't say here because why? If I'm going to be first to market with a certain, let's say, with a certain way of looking at a meme, then why would I tell anybody? Well, there's no reason to tell anybody. But I think I've been able to do enough homework for the past almost 30 days to see exactly what the problem is. Again, at least you can acknowledge that his mistakes makes others, including you, David, helps in learning how to do it correctly. I am one who doesn't rush. I don't react. I don't rush. First of all, you guys sent me this shit. It's not like I wanted it. But then you start thinking, okay, could this be a cool thing? Could I make it better? But hold on, let me watch what happens here. Let me see how people are building this stuff out. We've seen the levies, right? Remember Levy? Out of nowhere, some industry plan comes out. The shit goes to 15 million. I think it went to like maybe 20 million, maybe. And then this shit's at zero. And the only reason people were supporting was because they were getting free. Since when? So here's my point about airdrops. Since when do we get rewarded for going into a project? Like when I went, I'm telling you, I'm gonna say this again. For those who weren't here, when I went into Dogecoin, nobody airdropped me anything. I wasn't airdropped shit. I just bought Dogecoin, and I've been holding ever since. I bought Dogecoin. That's it. I didn't get no airdrop. Shiba Inu, there was no airdrop. Pepe, there's no airdrop. No, if you fuck with the meme, you buy it. I'm not saying you can't go ahead and like reward people. I'm not saying don't hold a contest and throw out some fucking, tokens as a reward or as you saying I appreciate you or something. Like, I'm not saying that. But there has to be a level. You gotta first. Look, I'm gonna give you guys. I'm gonna help you guys out because I see a lot of you motherfuckers struggling. Okay, And look how many people came out with a token. By the way, I want you to look at how many people came out with a token and where are they today. Now, look, things that are good take time. Rome wasn't built in a day. We all know. Da, 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 da. We all know we know the cliche and shit. We know the slogans and all. You just have a better chance right now having supply control than you do when you're giving it away. And people should not get things for free. Like, I don't believe people should get, because now you're talking about socialism. I'm sorry to bring in politics into the equation, but you're talking about free now. So now now you're going to get into the mindset, like, I'm not even going to go into this token at 100K unless they incentivize me to. We are going to, the problem is you're going to create a meta where, like, if you're not incentivizing people to be a part of a meme, they're not going to go into it. Oh, so there's no rewards? I don't get any airdrop? Oh, I'm not going into this. That's what really starts to develop. It's like the mindset of, I'm supposed to get something for free. So speaking on the Ansem token, I think if Ansem would have held supply and he would have waited until 200-300 million in terms of market cap to, I guess, reward just the holders, that would have been a better play. That would have been a much better play. And you still can grow. You can still grow. You can still grow out the brand. You can still grow out your brand by doing so. It's the same thing that I say about Pengu. I love Pudgy Penguins. I love what Luca has done. I think the hardest thing is that when you airdrop people, and I understand why you're doing this, is from a marketing perspective. It is, and it's a great thing, but you know what? For the type of people that we have in this space and the mentality that they have, they don't hold. I think you have to have at least 70% supply. I think that starts the conversation. And this is me being just honest. I think 70% starts the conversation. Okay, you have 70% supply. Set person has 70% supply. That's it. One person is holding 70%. So with that 70%, you got to look at how much is in the pool. You got to look at, I guess, your top holders and see, and you calculate that into the equation. If you have diehard holders as your top holders, then like you go, it's 70 plus whatever the holders are, right? So 70 plus holders. Let's say your holders make up, your hardcore holders make up anywhere from 7 to 10%. So now you're at 80%. And then what's in the pool? Let's say there's like, I don't know, let's say there's 5% in the pool. Now the rest is being traded. Again, these are just my thoughts on like what actually works or what I believe works better in terms of structure. That's all I'm talking about right here. It's what I believe structurally works better. But besides that, the whole supply and stuff, besides the meme, and by the way, the art has to be great. The art has to be absolutely great. The art has to have meaning. The meme has to have some meaning. It can't be AI slop and shit. Like, it has to have meaning. It has to have a soul to it. What is the purpose? What is it? Why am I rallying behind this meme? Is the meme bigger than the individual himself? Once you get to that point where the meme itself is bigger than anybody endorsing it, anybody blessing it, that's when you really have cooked up something that it will be fucking special, that will be around for multi-cycles. That's something that will unite a community and bring communities together 100%. I believe that wholeheartedly. That's what happens. You build a dope ass community. You build a community that understands the mission, the same mission that you're on, so everybody's on the same page. Okay? That's what you do. You focus on that. Because that builds the foundation. I don't know how many times I got to say this, but that in itself builds a foundation for and you build that foundation for multi-cycles. Now, once that foundation's built, you can add everything on top. It's easy to go and build the rest of the structure because your foundation is solid. You know you have a core that believes in the vision, believes in the meme. And that is important. And that takes time. That doesn't happen overnight. That takes time. It's brick by brick, one by one, people looking at it and saying, you know what, this is a dope meme. And I like the mission statement. I like what this shit is about. I want to be a part of this. And it's what I say. I want to be a part of the next Wall Street Bets movement. I keep saying that. I am excited to be a part of the next Wall Street Bets movement. It is absolutely going to be dope as fuck to be a part of something that just, and I feel like I'm being so fucking repetitive, but does bring back the culture. We can finally get back to looking at real memes and real movements and real communities get celebrated. Fuck the sniping. Fuck this 3-second trading bullshit. Like, we can actually hold spaces with 3,000, 5,000, 6,000 people in them. We can have shows that are bigger than this in terms of the audience. Is just, look, the audience has gotten bigger and bigger on this show. And the reason for that is because, and the replays have got even bigger. It's because people want that. I know for sure, just looking at numbers, because numbers don't lie, people do. Looking at the numbers, people want this. Like, people want to be a part of a movement. People want to participate in something that's meaningful. Yes, I get it. People want to make money too. Like, that is not, nobody's dumb to that fact. Everybody wants to make money. I get it. I 100% get that. Notice the way, I just want you guys to notice something. When I talk about the meme, I never talk about the market cap. I talk about fixing our space. That's it. If I want, can you guys put yourselves in my position for a second? I want you to think about this. I really want you to let this marinate. I really want you to listen to what I have to say right now. If I really wanted to test my ego or test my emotion, I could have done it on day one when the meta kicked off, which I'm not a part of. I keep on saying, I'm not a part of this fucking, I do not want to be bundled in with anybody doing these things. Like, I feel what I want to do is completely fucking different than what everybody else is trying to do. And I've been preaching about it for so many years that, like, nobody can say anything. Like, because you can just rewind the fucking tapes and see how I have been absolutely ripping this space apart about it not being what it used to be and that we need to bring back the culture. Go look at the goddamn shows. Rewind the tapes. If you've been following me, then you've heard this message over and over again. If you've been following me, you know that I've been saying this stuff for fucking so long. Okay, if I would have jumped in immediately, if we're talking about numbers, I would have ran it up. Because I'm not, I want you to understand this. See, even Electric Cowboy, biggest hater, right? Which I love him. I want haters. And how many times have I spoken about I want people to come in here and just despise me? I love it. I live for that shit. But here he is. Even my hater here says, I'm in it and I'm waiting to sell so I can go on to go do your thing. I don't really care. That's your thing. I don't really give a fuck. Here's what I want to say though. My platform's different. I'm not stuck in a KOL or a crypto bubble. My platform's outside of crypto too. Like my platform, people know me in the political circles. Like people, like my shit is bigger. My shit is bigger. And I haven't even done anything. Like I keep saying this. There's a video that was clipped, Hachu, right? I haven't even sneezed. I haven't done anything. I haven't called anything. There was somebody that wrote a remark saying somebody's creator coin isn't doing very well. Whose isn't? Are you talking about me? Because I don't have one. I haven't blessed anything at all. And the shit went to 3 million. So what are we talking about? Can you imagine if I did? And I didn't have to pay anybody. And I won't either. If KOLs or influencers decide to join, that'll be on them. Like, that's not on me. I could care less. I'd rather the people versus the KOLs or the cabals, like really. And we will see, because a lot of sneaky motherfuckers have gone into some of these tokens that you guys have sent to my page. And I'm sure they're in there, they're waiting. Cool. I don't care. I'll take all the time I want. That's the difference. And you know what? I can take all the time I want, but I think if a community comes together and they're strong as fuck, they'll beat the fuck out of you. That's the way I'm thinking. If the community's strong enough and they start doing grassroots marketing, they're out there and they're talking about this type of movement, you can't stop them no matter what dirty tricks you want to go ahead and do. I know exactly you dirty homeless motherfuckers and what you try to do. Like I know your tactics, bro. And it doesn't affect me at all. Because the one thing that you guys can't beat is a community that comes together. You guys are fucked. You're assed out. Great. Do what you want to do. Get your profits. Do whatever you fucking want to do. But there is no way that you beat a fucking solid community turn cult. Like it's impossible. I've watched them run over. I've watched the dopest communities / cults to ever exist in crypto absolutely destroy KOLs and influencers in their tracks. So I'm not even worried. If the community wants it hard enough, they'll get it done. They'll get the job done. They'll run you guys over. Like the running of the bulls in Spain. That's all I gotta say about that. But there are a lot of things that I've been able to watch and see and that I've noted down for myself, besides noting down the people that were all about this life, all about this movement. I noted you down in the book of David, but I also wrote down how to properly, structure a meme and how to really make a meme great and how to really unite the trenches and how to really showcase individuals and projects and we can align with each other and we could just fucking absolutely dominate, which we will. I haven't done shit on TikTok. I haven't done shit on Threads. I haven't done shit on X. I haven't done shit on Truth Social. I haven't done shit on Kick. I haven't done shit anywhere. I haven't done nothing. I haven't gone on mainstream media. I haven't done any podcast. I have not gone into spaces. I have not done anything. I want you to understand, everybody's unloaded their fucking ammunition. I have done nothing. I've done zero, zilch. Even the biggest haters know this. The haters sit back, they're like, shit, David Hachud Didn't even say anything. Shit went to 3.1. The other one went to 1.1. And these are two communities battling it out. And now there's another one thrown into the mix. Yo, it's done nothing but sit back and just observe. Done nothing but sit back and observe what is happening. That's all I've done. Because when I do things, win, lose, or draw, okay? Because I want the ball, right? Remember when I say I want the ball? And sometimes you're gonna lose, okay? But I'm going to give my best effort, right? Like you want to make sure that you are doing everything possible, everything fucking possible to focus and execute correctly. And we'll be right back after this commercial break, sponsored by Midnight. By the way, we'll go into Midnight City today.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh, wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we build Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Welcome to the Breakdown, episode 754, sponsored by Midnight. We go into Midnight City later on today. Also, Polymarket. Shout out to Polymarket, the official prediction market sponsor of this show. I wanted to look at Polymarket today again and see where we stand here with the with the midterms. We'll look at that from on Polymarket side. Cake Wallet, shout out to Cake Wallet, one of the most secure wallets within our space. If you want to hold your Litecoin, if you want to secure your Litecoin, Monero, Bitcoin, Zcash, check out Cake Wallet, and also check out Radar Chat. Again, not paid for that. That's not sponsored. Full transparency, but check out Radar Chat because I think it's really a really cool application, and you're able to go ahead and onboard a lot of people by just sending stats out, man. It's really fucking cool. It's what we've been talking about for a really long time in the goddamn space, and somebody has actually built out an encrypted goddamn application that you guys can go ahead and use and also send stats. gmarkets.io. Check out gmarkets.io if you want the latest information on your favorite crypto. Go check it out on there. gmarkets.io. Also, we are coming out with the official website. So there are a few products that are coming out from the Gakshi Media Group, and it's going to be really fucking dope. It'll get you up to date on all the latest news and everything that's happening. So it's dope. We've been working on it for months. I had to be very patient. Like I said, I had to be very fucking patient with this. Because I usually wanted things like, listen, man, I want my website. I want the company website up. But it should be coming out either today or Monday. Today or Monday, we will reintroduce Gokhshtein.com. I'm excited. I am excited. I'm really excited. I smile because, hey, you know, being in crypto for as long as I have been in crypto, and then, you know, starting a magazine and then having the magazine go into flipping into a media company, working my ass off all these years, taking this company. And look, it's been like a slow process with this company because like I could have got VC funding. I never went and took it on. When it was offered, I declined it. I was like, I want to stay independent. Like even when the money was offered, I was like, nah, you know what? I want to stay independent. And I paid out of my pocket. Like everything paid out of my pocket. It's hard. This shit, I got to tell you, I tell some people this at times, man. You get to a point where like, man, do I really want to fucking do this, man? You lose on the magazine. Anybody who is in the magazine game, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You lose on the magazine, completely lose on the magazine. There's no profit to be made. And then the media company, listen, you're, especially in the new industry, you're losing. But at some point you'll turn a profit. But the entire time you're just losing. No matter how many sponsors, whatever it is, you need major runway. Major. So I'm happy that I got to this point. Like, to get to this point is a huge win on your own dime. Like, on your own dime, huge win. So to see, like, the website looks phenomenal. To me, personally, phenomenal. And it'll continue to be upgraded weekly, bi-weekly. There will be upgrades, if not daily, to make it look better. And then, you know, gmarkets.io, it'll continue to get, you know, cosmetic changes and more data for you guys to go ahead and look at. So I'm excited. And then we have shows coming on, which will be cool. You know, we have superstars within the company that will shine, and you guys, you know, I think you guys are interested in listening to them. Speaking of interesting to listen to somebody cry, let's bring this guy in. His name is Rob. What's his name? Rob Nelson. I'm trying to put him in. He's taking himself out. Hello, Rob Nelson. What's going on?
I ain't taking myself out. I ain't touching myself.
You press the button to get yourself in here, okay? And I had to fix that.
I just unmuted my mic.
You didn't unmute your mic. Anyway, it is what it is. I'm not gonna fight. I'm not gonna fight with you, okay?
Wow. You'll argue about
Wow,
anything.
wacka, wacka, wow. All right, listen, what's going on, man? How's your Friday?
Friday's fine. World's spinning. World is spinning.
Spinning from what? I'd like to
Spinning.
know. What are we talking about? What are you going to cry about today, Rob?
No, I've decided. I'm done sounding the alarms for people. It's
Oh, such a
the
democratic thing to say.
the Trump faithful. It's interesting. I've talked to a lot of MAGA people over the last couple months, and it's surprising how many of his diehard early MAGA people are really aligning more as independents. And they will come out and say, Trump, they kind of Marjorie Taylor Greene it. They'll come out and say, Trump was amazing the first term. Some of them worked with him. And that he's doesn't really care about the little guy anymore. You've said this. He doesn't really care. He tells you I'll deal with high gas prices. He's in foreign wars, which again I happen to like being in Iran, but that he's not committed to those promises, and that and what I think about all that is it's not so much he's done. This is his last term. I think the midterms, I think the Republicans in Congress are having a heart attack right now because the last thing they wanted with a few months left before the midterms was to have us back in a kinetic war with Iran, which I wanted, but I'm not worried about Republicans winning the midterms. And they don't want to see oil prices over $100. Gas prices are going to go back up. Food prices are going to stay too high. Democrats are going to weaponize it. Even if they're wrong, they're going to weaponize it. The real Democrats, not the people like me that you accuse of being one when I'm not. The real Democrats will weaponize it and say, he said it'd be over in 4 weeks. Look, here we are 4 months later, still in it. Peace treaty, no. Straits blocked, chaos everywhere. They'll weaponize it, and apathetic voters who are disillusioned won't show up at the polls, and diehard Democrat leftists will. And I'm, for the first time after months of changing my view to think that maybe Republicans could hold the Senate, I'm starting to worry they can't even hold the Senate. And I think they're freaking out.
How much do they pay you? How much do they pay you to say that? What does the DNC pay you?
How much do the Republicans pay me to say that? Nothing.
No, what did the DNC pay you? Are they paying good, by the way? I'm just asking.
If I were the interesting. If I were the DNC, I wouldn't pay someone to say what I'm saying. Because the message I'm saying is not a message Democrats want to put out, because that risks polarizing and engaging the Republican base by being, the message I would give out if I'm the RNC, I'd be like, guys, we can't afford to let our apathy right now get there. Maybe you're not all super happy with some stuff Trump's doing. Get out there and vote. Like, that awareness is usually a mistake people make. As the other party, you don't really want to red flag the weakness that the other party's going to face. I've always gotten frustrated when Republicans do that with Dems. They're going to implode on themselves over there. I'm like, don't make them not. Don't make them come together. Like, let them do their own problems. So that's not a Democratic message. That's an independent message concerned what this looks like if Democrats win both houses of Congress, which I think will be a train wreck, especially given the
I do not see. I don't know which crystal ball you're looking at, but I do not see any chance in hell that the Democratic Party wins the Senate. Not even remotely possible that they win the Senate. And you know that
possible.
It's not.
No, it's remotely possible.
Why?
I mean,
where do you get?
Look, there's 5 states. I mean, Ohio, Maine's trickier now for Democrats because they blew themselves up with Plattner. But their new guy, there's such an anti-establishment feeling. I could see Susan Collins losing in Maine. I think they made it hard for themselves on the Democratic side. I could see Sherrod Brown winning in Ohio. I think Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, there's still a handful of toss-up states. The math is in the Republicans' favor, but even the Cook report will say it's not a lock. It's not a lock. Is it likely at this moment Republicans win? Yes, it's not a lock. And that could change if voter sentiment goes really south on Republicans in the next few months.
Why would you vote for a Democrat when all they do is shut down the government?
Well, I don't vote for Democrats, so I can't answer that question. Have you ever voted for a Democrat for president in
Yes.
your lifetime?
Yes.
You have.
Because
Which one?
I'm a
Which one?
I'll say this. Hold on. I'm a rational human being. Though
Mhm.
I'm a Philly, my thought process. So I'll say this. I'm a Republican. I was a Democrat growing up because in New York City, that's all they teach you to be a Democrat. Like you grow up in a Democratic environment. I was when I was like 8, 9, I was handing out flyers for Chuck Schumer before he hit
Mhm.
Senate. So they promise you the world. They
Yeah.
legitimately promise, and these were the same. I guess these were kind of like the same Democrats,
Yeah. I,
the ones that were
I,
sane. But hold on, let me finish. I grew up a
I know.
Democrat.
Answer my
But then
question.
I started watching, and I was like,
Yeah.
hold on, they only come around when they need a vote. That was my mindset. And why do
Yeah.
they always
Yeah.
want to continue to tax people? My biggest thing was, why do they continue to tax people that do well in the
Yeah.
world? Like, why are we taxing our entrepreneurs? Why are we not
Yeah.
incentivizing? Why are we taxing? So yeah,
Good questions.
I voted for a
Yes or no
Democrat.
question. Yes, you did. Okay. Second question. I'm being like the member of Congress, asking the Smithsonian Institution Museum. Second question. Which Democrat president did you vote for?
Obama.
Did you vote for a Democratic U.S. senator?
No.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the breakdown. Let me just point out, Mr. David Gokhshtein, the man who accuses me falsely of being a Democrat, has voted for a Democrat. I have
So
never,
what?
ever
So
in my
what?
life. Hold on. I have.
So what?
I have never in my life, and I'm older than you, voted for a Democrat president, including Clinton, who I worked with. I never voted for a Democrat for president.
I wasn't
Never.
old enough to vote
Can I
for
get some
Clinton.
applause here,
and
Mr.
may-
Can I get some applause? If people,
and
the
maybe
whole I'm
hold
a
on, and maybe
Democrat
I would have
line is going to have to
hold
go
on,
out the
maybe I
window.
would have voted for Clinton. If I was old enough to vote, maybe I would have voted for Clinton.
Maybe you would have. I'm saying I don't know how I'm the
But then,
Democrat, and
as
I've
I'm
never
hold on,
voted
but
for a
you know what I'm saying?
Democrat.
As you get hold on, you see, here I am because I have the balls to admit who I voted for, unlike you who voted for Kamala
I do
Harris.
too. I never voted for a
You don't, like,
Democrat. I'm not
you
ashamed to
voted
say
for
it.
Kamala. You know you voted for Kamala, and like you're scared to admit it. I don't really care. I'll tell you who I voted for.
Wow.
Hold on.
I
You see,
didn't
that's
vote.
the fucking bro. No. Hold on. That's the
No,
fucking problem.
this
in
we
this
have to
country.
be
Hold
honest to
on.
the audience.
Let
We
me
have-
say something. Let me say something, Rob. That's the problem in this country. See, when I say I'm a Republican, I'm a MAGA guy, but I can go ahead and look at both sides and then pick and choose what I like. Yeah, I'm not scared to say if I had the ability to vote for Bill. Hold on, if I had the ability to vote for Bill Clinton, I would have. If I
So I'm
had the
using
ability
your
to
same-
hold on, I had the ability to vote for Barack Obama, I did. Let me explain
I'm
why.
using the same argument. No, I don't care why. I'm
You're
using
not
the
letting me
same
finish.
argument.
No, but the audience wants me to finish.
Because I'll let you finish. But
You
this is
won't.
what my concern. This is my concern, which is you can't hear that same logic in reverse. The fact that I can see problems with Trump and see holes in what he's doing, and even see inconsistencies,
This is
to you
bullshit.
can only mean I'm a Democrat. Even though I've never voted for a Democrat, that's the only conclusion. It couldn't be
I
the
grew
same
up
as
in
yours.
you don't understand.
Hey, I can see both sides. I don't
I
care that
grew
you
up in-
voted for a Democrat.
I
I'm
grew
not
up
mad at
in
that.
New York. You're not understanding something. I grew up in New York City. Okay. So I
Fine.
didn't get there. If I grew up in Florida or if I grew up in the Midwest or in the South, I would have probably voted for a Republican. Okay. But being that you grew up in New York City and you're brainwashed, okay, completely fucking brainwashed.
It's okay. I'm
Okay?
not mad at you. I'm not
Now,
criticizing
hold
you for
on.
voting for a Democrat.
Hold on. hold on. I just want to get this. Let me get my train of thought out. Okay, because I'm gonna let you do the
Dude,
same
you're trying to
thing.
do the Andes.
It doesn't matter if I take fucking 30 minutes to get them out. Let me land the fucking plane.
Oh, wow, well, we'll all be hungry by then.
Then go get yourself a sandwich or get an Ensure bottle. Now, what I'm trying to say is, when you get older, okay, as I've gotten older and I got to look at everything, I wouldn't have voted for Bill Clinton because Bill Clinton brought in the Chinese, and guess what? It affected some of my family members because now you brought in cheap labor that took them out of business. Okay? Obama was great because we needed something after shock and all the shit that happened. We needed a change, right? We needed hope. Okay, and there was nobody on the Republican side that got me excited. And yeah, you fell back and you said, you know what? We definitely need change around here. And I voted for Obama because there were some issues that he was running on that I said, you know what? This makes sense. When he said, we got to hold on. And I'll tell you which one. First of all, Obama is a great speaker. The one thing that he did is said, we want to get rid of illegal immigrants out of this country. I was like, yeah, this is perfect. Why am I paying taxes for people that are not supposed to be here? Okay. So there are things and policies that he put out there that said, I said, holy shit. Okay. Now that I look back at it as somebody who is older and more experienced, I would not have voted for these individuals. But at that time, there was nobody on the Republican side to vote for.
This is the biggest defense of something that wasn't even a criticism.
It's not a defense. It's somebody growing up in New York City. It's a New York City resident.
I don't care. Hey,
David. Former resident.
David. Hey, Mister.
You're not listening.
I don't care.
You see, that's the problem with our country. You're not listening to what I'm saying, so you can't.
I am listening. I'm not judging you for voting for a Democrat.
You're waiting to react. You're waiting to react.
I'm not waiting to react.
You're waiting
I actually
to react.
had a reaction from the start. David,
can I just fucking land the plane? Can I just land the plane?
Wow.
When you
Hopefully
say
soon, because you've been going on for 5 minutes.
If you stop interrupting me, it would have been done already. You talk about that I am not willing to go ahead and raise this belt and lay it into the ass of Trump. You talk about that I'm not willing to go ahead and say hey, I don't agree with Trump here. Yes, I'm one of the. I think Landy could testify. Do I like 90% of the things that Trump does? Yeah. Do I like the 10% that he does? No. And I'm out here saying, hey, you know what? Not everything that Trump does is good, but you know what? For the most part, I like most of the stuff that he does. Okay? I can be critical of the things that he does that I feel that he doesn't do well. Social media, okay? Calling women piggies. Like, I don't fuck with that. Okay? I think our president has to do better. But for the most part, he does a lot of good things. We need a Trump in office. And hopefully, it ain't gonna happen in this decade, but hopefully down the line, we get a unifier. Because right now, you ain't unifying shit. Not the Democrats, not the Republicans. You can't even get them to vote on the SAVE Act, which is the easiest thing to do. To have people show up with an ID to vote for the biggest positions in the biggest elections that we have here in the United States of America. So what are we talking about? My plane has landed. Go for it. Go for it.
The airport's closed. I'm not going to take the bait and react to anything. I'm going to say this. First of all, I don't judge anybody's decisions to who they voted for. And no one ever needs to explain to me why they did. I know why I voted the way I voted in my lifetime. And I don't have a problem. I'm not a partisan. I think there were some good Democratic candidates who ran for office. I think Obama was the biggest gimmick there was. And you and others said, I voted for hope and change. Obama wasn't hope and change. He never was hope and change. It was all a fake act. Trump was the real deal the first time. I think Trump has gotten very far away from what he promised to be and do. And it's funny, the things you don't like about him actually are what I do like about him. Like, I like that he says things like the Miss Piggy thing. Like, to me, he says what everybody thinks, and he's not afraid to say it. And I think part of it's intentional. I think, Steve Bannon said once, the best thing we can do is throw so much shit at that people just get stuck in the shit and don't see what's really important. Like, we control the narrative. I think some part of him knows people will go nuts when he says those things. And I think some part of him is just unfiltered. He just says stuff. And I think the next day he might not even remember he said it. His views can change, like he's suddenly not mad at you. I actually find that one of the most refreshing things in politics. And I wish people didn't go, if only he was more polite. More polite, that's what every president was. Well, they were lying, cheating, and stealing. Like, thank God he's honest. I just don't happen to like some of his policy priorities right now. It's that simple for me.
I didn't say he's not honest.
I'm honestly more of a focus on the U.S. economy. And the
I think that him and his administration have done an excellent job with what they've been left with. So to be critical of, well, look at the U.S. My beef, so like I've told this to Landy, my beef with Trump is when you don't acknowledge the people that aren't doing well in America, it's wrong. So like, yeah, our economy is good right now. And a lot of individuals that are in good positions are making money. But there are people that are still struggling. And you have to acknowledge them and you have to come out and say, look, our economy is doing great, but we still got work to do. We still need to go ahead and help more people out here to get on their feet. Biggest tax returns, all this stuff. He's done things and he's attempted to do things to help the American people. We're bringing jobs back to America. We're bringing plants back to America where it's supposed to be. This takes time. So to be critical of him because things take time to play out is just absolutely wrong. Now, again, it's the little things that, like I just told you, when people are going to fill up their gas tanks and the shit's at $3, $4, $5, and people are having trouble to decide whether I go into work or not. What do I buy at the grocery store because the prices are still high there also. And he doesn't acknowledge it. That's my only problem because I understand Trump. I get Trump. If he says that, then you'll have every Democrat, instead of saying, oh, you know what? He's acknowledging that's really cool that he's going to strive to lift people up that are still struggling. No, they're going to use that against him. See, look, he's the president and he's even admitted that people are struggling. So he has no choice almost as if to not to acknowledge that because of the current state of politics.
But that's not a current state. And so the only thing I disagree with you,
it is the current state of politics.
The only thing I disagree with you is that, people on the Biden side made the same argument. He's doing great with what he was given, with the fact that he had the pandemic. I've never. Don't interrupt. Hey, I listened to you for 5 minutes. Shut up and listen to me for 60 seconds. I can't.
This is crazy.
Both sides. Wow, you can't even keep from like wiping your sweat. Both sides.
I'm not sweating at all. I'm not sweating.
Both sides make this argument in American politics, which is given what we had. And I hate the argument because it's not an argument that you could ever use with a CEO. Given the mess the CEO got, they're doing good. Shareholders go, we want results. So I don't disagree that Biden handled Trump a certain kind of a mess. And the policies Trump's taken are radically different. And some of them are very good. Some of them I'm not sure will work.
The highest inflation ever.
I don't buy the argument that given what I was given, I've done a good job. That's just not an argument I'm going to accept from the CEO of the company that I'm a shareholder in. I will accept that you're doing a good job. I won't accept it's the best you could do given what you were given before, because that argument's just going to get turned around next time. If a Democrat wins, they'll use the same argument and we go nowhere. And that's why no policies get passed. That's why there's no bipartisanship, to your point, There's no way Trump's going to come out and say something's bad because Democrats will weaponize it any more than Joe Biden was going to come out and admit inflation was high because Republicans would weaponize it. So nobody's really trying to fix the country as much as they're trying to weaponize their politics. And my biggest issue with Trump is that I think it's more important to him right now to weaponize the politics and win than it is to fix the country. And I think that's where a lot of average people are like, stop telling me my life is fine when I can't pay my rent. Healthcare is
Thank God. Thank God his connection went off. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll still stay here. You're tuned into the breakdown, episode 754. Rob's connection has gone out because even his internet company couldn't take his bullshit just now. I've always been upfront. You grow up in New York City. You see, the problem is for those who have anybody who's grown up on the Northeast, we've been conditioned, or we were conditioned to be Democrats. And I will say that the Democrats, the old Democrats, were different than the current state of the party. So, yeah, I voted for Obama. But that's because there was hope and change that was supposed to be coming. And that didn't work out. And I think Obama really did. Look, Obama's a great speaker. He owns the room. There's things that you can't deny about this dude. Like, you cannot deny that Obama does not own the room. And he knows how to talk. He's well spoken. Like, he delivers a message. But you got to look at it. Even if you wanted to vote for a Republican, there was nobody to vote for. There was no Republican candidate at that time to vote for. And I think people wanted a change, and he was that at the very time. Like, he was change. You look at Clinton. Clinton lost. Clinton did a lot of things that cost people their companies. I know this. Like, growing up in New York City, a lot of people went out of business because he brought China into the mix. WTO, man, like, fucking here comes Clinton, bringing people in. So you look back at it now as you're older, as I'm older and wiser, and you look at all these things. Look, at the end of the day, everybody's a politician. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and put it that way. Everybody's a politician, right? Republicans, Democrats, all politicians. Why do I like Trump? He's not a politician. He can speak, but he's a business person. There's a difference. He's not a politician. He's a business person. And he's running this country as if it's a business, which it is. It is a business. 100% is a business. So, do I like Trump? Absolutely. Do we need Trump? Absolutely. 100%. Do I have to like everything he does? No. Rob likes the fact that Trump speaks his mind. I like that too, but I think there are certain things. Listen, I forgot who died. What was his name? The guy was famous for being on, I forgot which show. But apparently his son killed him or some shit like that. Or when the former FBI director, I think Robert Mueller, right? When he passed away. And Trump came out with a post like that. I get, look, I am all for freedom of speech, but there is a way that I believe wholeheartedly you have to conduct yourself when you're the president of the United States of America. But I also understand the animosity that Trump has after having the legal system weaponized against him. So I understand the rage inside of him. Like, man, they try to ruin me. These people try to ruin me. So I understand, like, from that standpoint, okay, I get that. But you're the president of the United States of America. So again, there's this catch-22, man. focus on the American people. I don't, and I say this all the time, I don't, respectfully, I have Ukrainian friends and we disagree on this topic now. So I've lost an interview with Usyk, the heavyweight champion of boxing. I lost it because I said that the United States of America should not be sending money to anybody unless, you want to talk about capitalism, unless we're getting money back for it. Okay, unless we're getting paid interest on that money, we should not be sending money to anybody. We need to take care of us. We need to take care of the American people already. We need to come first. Our infrastructure is horrific. Okay, is it getting better? It's getting there, but we need to dial in here. We need to take care of our veterans. I keep talking about our veterans. I've been talking about our veterans for 10 years. As I've had this podcast, go rewind it. Every single week, I talk about the veterans that are out there. That when they come home with missing limbs or PTSD, okay, they're given a fucking bullshit VA card and there is not a fucking job lined up for them. And if there is, it's pathetic that our veterans have to go work at, respectfully, okay, McDonald's, Burger King. Those are entry-level jobs. You would just think that we would create some sort of job opportunities for our veterans that have sacrificed their limbs, their bodies, their souls to protect this country and to protect our rights, for me to even have this show and to protect us from all evil. You would think, here is a scenario that I always bring up. We have a problem here in the United States of America with school shootings. You know how we solve that problem? We hire our veterans to roam those schools. You imagine you have a veteran who comes back from any one of these wars and you place them in front of a school and you pay them $150,000 a year. Every single public school. Let's see if some fucking maniac, deranged maniac, wants to fuck around and find out with one of our military personnel. Let's go ahead and see if they want to fuck around, find out. That's what I want to fucking see. If I were the president of the United States of America, if I was in the Senate, I'm pushing for our veterans to be in front of our fucking schools. Public schools, in front of our churches. Go ahead. Let's see you go ahead and get fancy. Let's see you go ahead and get froggy. And let's see how that works out for you. That's what I'm more concerned with. Fuck sending money overseas. Send them, create fucking workshops. Because we got inner cities here where people are dying for a job, but they can't get one. They cannot fucking get one. Why are we pouring money into workshops? Why are we giving free education? You want to go the socialist route? Why are we giving free education to people in the inner cities and then helping them learn coding, learn about crypto, whatever you wanted to learn from an entry level point of view so they can get into a company, private sector, not depend on the government, get in from an entry level point of view and carry on. These are the things. Why is money being sent to middle class areas? Why is all this funding being sent to middle class and high net worth areas and not into the inner cities? Why? Answer that fucking question. Because it's all fucking politics. All this shit is fucking politics. Drown Drown these people. Don't let their heads come up. You know why? Because when it comes down to voting, that's when we'll come around and we'll lift them up right before they're about to drown and pass the fuck up. We'll pick their heads up and we'll tell them we'll save them and we'll get their vote. So I don't want to hear about all these politicians, okay? They had an enormous amount of time to fix this fucking country. But their fucking politics, their fucking party affiliations have stopped this country from fucking being great. And now listen, this is the greatest country in the world. Don't get this confused. We live in the greatest country in the world. And yes, we do have things that we have to work on, but we could have got this shit done a long time ago. A long time ago. Our school systems are fucked, okay? The Department of Education, fucked. That shit, do not tell me that shit is now written by corporate elite motherfuckers that do not want you to understand how to make money on your own money, and that is what brings me to crypto and why I came here in the fucking first place. Not to gamble, but to get away from the centralized fucking system that gives you absolutely no opportunity, zero opportunity to go ahead and succeed. Okay? Zero. You work for somebody your entire life. God bless for anybody who puts in the hard work, but you don't got they level you up. They make you a manager after 20 years. And then you retire. You're fucking 65 years old. You retire. You got your 401k that you got to fucking pay taxes. You retire. And then you live for 5 years and you die. What life is that? And we live in America with 42 million people on fucking SNAP benefits? We live in America. There should be no 42 million people on SNAP benefits unless there's a fucking agenda. And that is to keep people poor on purpose. Keep people divided on purpose, because when it's time for that fucking vote, we go right to those people and we tell them, oh, it's so unfair that you live this way. Vote for me. Things will change. Rinse and repeat. The cycle is vicious. You know, fuck. Nobody needs to tell me about this shit. I've witnessed everything. I've seen everything. I just hold back because I don't know which platform is going to fucking demonetize me, take me out, fucking take all my social media platforms out, because this is the truth. Okay? And I know if you fucking put your party affiliations aside for a second, if you heard this fucking rant, you would agree with me.
Wow.
But I guarantee you people won't.
Well, you got one person that will right now, David. So I applaud you. You finally said what I know you've been thinking the whole time, and said it better than I could have said it. It is a uniparty system. It's two parties playing the same game. You hit it on the head. They don't really care about the American people. And if I do criticize Trump sometimes, I wonder if he really does as much as he says. That's a fair criticism of him. Party system, whichever party, they're fucked. And you're right. I worked in inner city communities, and I would always ask, why don't we pour resources into empowering these communities? Make sure that there's economic development, jobs that they would be real jobs versus handouts. Teach them how to manage finances, basics. Why don't we protect our schools? Why do we not put money into growing our own society, but all over the world else, as you said? And the answer is because most people running in our government don't give a fuck about the people. They give a fuck about making money and staying in power. And that's the sad truth.
Big Pharma,
maybe
right?
You should run for president. Maybe you should run for president.
They'll kill me on the first day. They'll definitely kill me on the first day.
Maybe, but if you get, but they might. You know what? I told you this story before privately, never publicly. Wanted Bobby Kennedy, not the current one, the dad, senior, right? When he was running for the Democratic nomination, said to Richard Goodwin, who was one of his closest aides, I finally realized I can break out of the shadow of my family, of my dad, of the sort of the corporate politics. Because, that's what was. His dad put his, JFK in, right? It was all a machine. And he's like, and I realized if I get elected president, I actually could change the world and make the world a better place for people and make America better. And he said to Richard, unless somebody kills me first, and a week later he got assassinated at the, in Los Angeles. I don't know if he would have, but he definitely was realizing I could do something that's different than just play the game. Maybe he would have played the game. Maybe he wouldn't have. Run for president. If you get that far, you die on the second day in office. You might have shifted the equation enough to get someone else elected. Big sacrifice, though.
It would just be a
Big
breath of fresh air to see somebody just say, you know what, guys, like, look at our country. Like, people don't just become homeless, Rob.
Right.
Like,
Right.
think about it. Who wants to be homeless? Nobody. I don't think anybody grows up and has aspirations of being homeless. There's a reason why it happens. Drugs, right? Which nobody talks about. Drugs, the biggest thing that leads to that pandemic that we have, which is the homeless situation. We have a homeless situation in California, and they're coming out there instead of trying to help these people who are on drugs at the same time. They're handing out needles to them, clean needles.
I know.
So you're encouraging them to continue to stay in the same position.
Yeah.
Think of nobody talks about this, and it's mind-boggling. We are, instead of helping somebody, no, let me give you a clean needle. That is our solution.
Yeah, you know what else though? On top of that, you talk about drugs. There's also a lot of homeless people that are there because of economic displacement, and I think people don't realize that part. At Thanksgiving here in Nashville, I went out and served meals. From an organization that donated food. I served just with a couple other people, just alone, probably like 500 meals. Out to people on the street, not literally coming in. We took it out to them. The number of stories I got, David, of people, why they were homeless, there were a few people that you could tell were whacked out from drugs. But there were also people who were like, one woman was working 2 jobs. And she'd shower wherever she could. She did security at one of them, whatever. And she was on the street. She couldn't afford rent. Like, it was stunning to me, people's stories of how they ended up there. And, a number of people would say to me, I'm not looking for a big handout. I'm looking for a foot up here. Just give me a foot up. I'll climb the ladder myself. Just get me on the ladder, because right now I can't even get on the ladder. Now, that's different. But I think addicts, it's the same argument. Give me a foot up is not give me a clean needle so that I can stay down here like in my drugged out state.
It's just, I don't know. I really don't know. I have some ideas, but I really don't know how you fix the healthcare system. But we here, we live in again, I mentioned, and I'm sure everybody knows this, we live in the United States of America, the richest country in the world, right? There has to be a way that we can take care of the people that live here and like have phenomenal coverage, and there's no issues. Like, there are so many problems here. Yet when I sit here and I watch all this shit from both sides, I watch and I go, we're sending money here. We're printing money here to send here. Like, can we print it over here? Can we do something here? Like, can we fix what we have here? Like, I'm telling you, it's true story. Google invested not into the inner cities, but they went. I remember this, and I went crazy on air 4 or 5 years ago. Google invested into middle class, healthy, suburban areas to get people into entry-level jobs, but they didn't do it for the inner cities. Why? It's very interesting when you look at that. Why aren't you pouring in a massive amounts of money into? You know what they're actually doing now in the inner cities? They're actually throwing people out because they're rebuilding them, right? You have a bunch of real estate developers coming in,
Yeah.
buying out these little houses, throwing people out, and building new condominium complexes, which is changing the completely changing the entire environment. Go to Coney
So
Island. It's not
it's in-
anybody who's from Brooklyn, go to Coney Island. It's not the same. They got condominiums going up left and right. People are being forced out to absolutely leave. They're home.
Right.
They've been living there for 30, 40, 50, 60 bloodline type of thing.
I mean, you know this. This is partly the regentrification
Gentrification
of
is
America.
real,
And it's
man.
happened.
It's crazy.
I know, and it's happened for a long time. But I will say this, and some people argue, well, that's the capitalist system. But I would argue, yes and no. You can incentivize developers to develop in ways that are more constructive to the working class, or really, could you help the most broken communities? Yes, you could incentivize developers to, if they can make money, you can make money anywhere if you do it right, but they make it so easy for them to make money in these other things. So Google, we can make more money going into the upper middle class and getting qualified people who are well educated, costs us less per worker to acquire than going somewhere else. But that's a bad argument if you want to look at the greater good of society and even where your real value comes. Because what I'd always say is, there's someone who said we're only as good as the least of us. If too many people fall underneath, it's, Henry Ford got it. If people can't buy the cars, like, what good does it do to make them? Too many people fall under, you're going to drag the whole ship down. So there's a self-interest. It's not just a handout in helping make sure half our society isn't crumbling, as you put it. Why can't we fix things here at home? It's a very real and legit question.
So yeah, when we talk about politics, like when we talk about, all this stuff, is just like, I'm like, at the end of the day, you know what I think about? And obviously we have to report the news. We come on here to, we talk about what's happening in the world, and I get it. And we chime in with our own thoughts. But here's my real thought. Like, I don't even want to be in these places. Like and I hate this because I don't think I sound like a woke left or a woke right personality. I'm just thinking, like, can we pay attention here for a second? Because like we're missing the point here, and we're really missing the plot. But like when you look here, shit isn't all green. Okay, when you have two parties that are not allowing for things to pass, we need to get them out. No, I'm being that serious. You can't have representatives that represent the people not representing the people. It doesn't make sense.
Oh, that's what we've had for a long time. Here's the problem. Everybody knows it. And I got to go, and I know you do too. Everybody knows that. That's why nobody likes it. Everybody knows they don't. The number of people who think Congress or even the presidency represents the people is tiny. Most people are like, you don't represent me any more than the media tells me the truth. Or that every big corporation is really looking out for my best interest. Farmer just wants me to be healthy. Like, people don't buy any of it anymore. That's why what you said on your rant before is really worth clipping and republishing. It's like what people feel. They're like, this is all bullshit, and you're all playing the same bullshit. Problem is, we're letting it happen instead of being like, enough, we're going a different route. That's the challenge on us, to go, we're not going to stick with this. We're going to do something different. Not easy. Wasn't easy to start this country. Not a lot of good things were easy.
Yeah.
I got to go on that note, but this is a great conversation.
Yeah, it's a great one. I don't know. Landy came in like 5-10 minutes ago. I didn't know if he
I
wanted to
know,
come
and
on
then
or
he
not.
was gone. He's there. He
Yeah,
could be
I have
just
no clue.
hanging out, listening.
I think he's
That's
just
all
hanging
right.
out.
No, Landy. All right, appreciate you. Oh, he's
Oh,
there.
he
Well, I
wanted
got
to
to
come
jump.
on. I didn't know. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
gotta jump, though.
Yeah, go for it. I'll talk to you later. Rob Nelson, everybody, he has a show.
See? Landy's listening. Thanks, man.
Oh, he's listening. Okay.
He's listening. Good. That's good for Landy to be listening, watching,
I don't get
waiting to pray.
Waiting
He's
for
gonna
what? To
come
come
in.
on? Can you just say, hey, I want to come on? Or like I have no. Anyway, Rob Nelson, everybody, Mondays
see
and
you.
Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in on the Gokshi Media Network to go ahead and check out what he has to say in terms of all the trending news that's out there. Rob Nelson, it's nice to have you on.
Same, man. Appreciate you. Say hi to Landy for me.
I will. I don't know if he's coming on or not, but shout out to Rob Nelson. He has a good show. I can't believe that we actually agreed with. I don't know. I don't know why I ripped off today, man. Like there was, you know what it is? I think the whole back and forth and like me, like growing up in New York City and seeing the shit that went on where I lived, like it's just like, man, like all this shit is still, a lot of this shit is not taken care of. People are still fucked. Like, I love this country. I really do. I'm forever grateful that my parents made the escape, waited online, and came here, and then had me here to give me a better life. Like, I appreciate that. That shit is fucking awesome. Absolutely fucking awesome. It's the greatest country in the world. We can complain. We can complain all we want, but like if you've never been, you know, the problem is a lot of you guys have never been outside of this country. So you complain. This is so bad. But I go visit go to Europe. Go to a European country. And then you'll see how bad things are. Let's bring in Landy for a few minutes. Landy's in the back. What's going on, Landy?
Well, look, I'm doing well. It's good to see you. It's good to see Rob. We need a little bit of hopium here. Because in reality, for as bad as things are, there are significant changes that are occurring in our country and our society that are for the positive. And we often only hear the negative. We often only hear the attacks, and we often are in search of something to fix, even if it's not broken. And we, as a society, are starting to see that even though things are hitting a fever pitch at the extremes, that there are legitimate good things that are getting done that will move us forward as a country, that will move us forward as a society, and provide for hope well into the future. And I think that that is something that is lacking in social media discourse and any type of news that we see. But the reality is that for all of our flaws here in the United States, as a nation, as regular everyday folks, as elected officials, as business people, as entrepreneurs, while we have a bunch of flaws, we're still the best place in the world to live. We are still the world's greatest superpower, and we are still a just nation. And that doesn't mean that it doesn't come with warts. That doesn't mean that there isn't problems to solve, but we will solve these problems. We will overcome and see things through to a much brighter and better future for individuals and society at large. And hopefully have that become a network effect to the rest of the societies around the globe. And I think that a lot of what we have now in terms of discourse here in the United States is driven purely by hyperbole in terms of conversation, right? Without any middle ground. You're either for or against. You either love this person or you hate this person, and all nuances thrown out. And why is that? Because we live in an attention economy. And it's not just here in the United States, it's all over the world, right? China is dealing with this as well. And that's one of the reasons why they lock down social media so much. but there is going to be a brighter future. And I am still of the opinion that there is the, well, still flaws, there is the right people in position that are affecting change in a positive direction right here, right now, under the current administration and in various states. There's a lot of hard work being done by good people. Doesn't mean that it's not going to be without challenges. Doesn't mean that people won't misstep or screw up. That is human nature after all. And I think that sometimes you have to take stock of where you are personally and where we are as individuals, and then as a society, and then as a nation, and just continue to fight for the right things, um, and be willing to provide for grace when there are mistakes being made. And I think that that will occur and continue to occur. I think that we are hitting some pretty nasty extremes in political discourse, especially. But the pendulum swings, right? It swings from one extreme to the other, and it's not going to be long before it swings back to the middle and things begin to calm down a little bit in terms of discourse. But we live in an attention economy, right? You can say that it's just as true in national discourse, political discourse, social discourse, news, social media, personal lives in some cases, and personal interactions. But that too will become something that will die down over time.
Again, I said what I said.
Yeah.
I stand on that.
Hey, I wasn't here for the entire conversation, but what I can tell is that you are not alone. I can tell you, you're not alone in that regard and your feelings on what is happening. There's a lot of people.
It's not about our country is not great. It's not about it's not the greatest country in the world. It's not about like we are obviously there's no country that can compare it to. That's not the argument. It's we have elected people that represent the people that have done nothing for the people. So there needs to be fucking change, and that's bottom line. And I've watched it, and like I said, I grew up in humble beginnings, and and their people are still fucking suffering.
Yeah. Well,
And nobody should living in the greatest country of the world. Living in this type of country, that should not be happening. And I'm not blaming Trump. This is not a president.
No.
Not to point the finger at the president. The president, at the end of the day, can only do so much. It's the people in the House and in the Senate that really go ahead and make things happen. So when I see a bunch of people that were elected into office doing absolutely nothing for the American people who they serve, there's a fucking problem. Okay, and I've laid down like 2 or 3 things that can be easily fixed. We send money to everybody else who hates us.
mhm.
You have all these countries that get money from the United States of America. They do not like the United States of America. Yeah, we continue to send money to these countries. And there is nothing with me saying, you know what, people have taken, I've lost interviews, I've lost friends because of my stance about Ukraine. Okay, it's not our war. It's not our war. Okay. Our war, it's not. I understand that if you guys want me to go deep into it, I can break it all down. I get it, but it's not our war. It's not the American people's war. We don't want this. The deep state wants this. I don't want this. We don't want this. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care. Y'all want to fight for land like you always have done for fucking centuries? You guys can go ahead and tear your heads off. I could care less. You know, like I look at some of these dudes that say America first, and like I roll my eyes because a lot of them just do it for fucking engagement. But there is something to be said about America first. At some point, we got to put this country first. Like, there's nothing wrong with China puts themselves first. Like, there's nothing wrong with putting your country first and then helping.
Well, you know, what China does is they put themselves first, and then they also position other countries that they align with
I get it.
to be aligned with them on their agenda. And for a very long time, the United States was, you know, the argument was is that the United States was doing essentially the same thing. The problem is we gutted our middle class here in the United States, our manufacturing and
There is no
production,
middle class in the United States of America. There's
and
zero.
well, we gutted it in favor of exporting things so that we could become a larger player on the world stage in terms of funding just about everything and anything, and becoming a managerial society, right? A non-productive managerial society. But these things are beginning to change. The pendulum is swinging back, but that doesn't mean that we don't focus on what is in our best interest outside of the country, because in the end, it should be benefiting our country. And that's what I do like about this current administration, is that is the focus, whether it be trade deals, whether it be security, whether it be alliances. You know, nobody's paying attention to what's going on in South America, but I'm pretty tapped in, and I'm still paying attention. There's a lot of good things coming out of the relationships that are being formed and forged in South America. These are all things that will benefit the United States and are for the benefit of the American people, but they will benefit those nations as well, right? Um, so I think it's a more nuanced conversation. For there's an entire wing of the America First agenda on social media that is like, well, no, everything needs to be only United States and cut everybody else off and become isolationist. And that's just not going to work. You know, that from a security and stability standpoint, then you're just opening the door for our enemies to infect other nations, which was already been done, right? Realigning the goals of where the United States heads and how we build out and maintain our power, and how we grow as a nation going forward, I think is centrally aligned in an America First policy through this administration. The problem is the largest roadblocks, like you have mentioned, is Congress, and it's our own people. It's your own people, right? It's literally it is the uniparty that you referenced that is deeply entrenched. But you got to understand, and I've said this to you before, you know, anybody that wants to get involved in politics, you can have a really strong set of morals and ideals and things that you want to do when you go in. And then you get in and you realize that you have no say of what's going on. They'll literally put people on your staff, they'll recommend people all through the beltway that will completely sabotage your agenda and tell you that you can't get this done without actually capitulating to this thing over here that you might not be in favor of. And they literally will ostracize you throughout all of the halls of DC if you don't give into the rotten machine that is entrenched in DC. And it's not the headline people that are the faces. It's most of the time it's not even the representatives. That's why you see that the representatives flip-flop all over the place. And for those that have tried to expose the rot beneath, they get ostracized immediately. Anything that they've been trying to do for their state and for the country and for the constituents ends up going by the wayside. And that's why you see over time, especially the longer that some of these representatives have been in Congress, they just start shifting away from the original core values. And that's the purpose of the swamp in DC. And it's not just that there is a swamp in DC, it's that there is a swamp of people in DC that are deeply entrenched, that have been there for decades, that actually are the power brokers behind the scenes that get things done. and they
Yeah.
position certain people that are going to do their bidding. They position them well through connections in private industry, through other areas of the government and other institutions, to then push policy forward, and usually making them forcing them or making them capitulate to um, a bunch of compromises that otherwise would not match with that candidate's ideals. Brandon Herrera obviously is under a lot of attack, but I think he's going to be a good rep when he gets elected. But one of the things that I've watched the guy for many years, and now that he's gotten endorsement from Trump, very highly likely that he's going to get into office. A lot of misrepresentation of the things he said. He's been a podcaster for a very long time. He's been an internet personality and YouTube personality for even longer. And of course, the typical swamp attack is coming for him. But when he gets in, he's got a lot of really good ideas and ideals. I don't necessarily agree with everything that he says, but he's got a lot of, he's like a fresh faced, bushy tailed bunny that's going to go into the slaughter of DC, and trying to maintain your positions, gather coalitions there against the swamp. I think he's going to find out firsthand. And I hope that he talks about it on the podcast. I hope that he continues as a representative to continue to podcast and expose some of the shit that happens in DC, because it's bad. And it's bad. And in a lot of places, I've seen good people that go to Congress on both sides of the aisle, Democrat and Republican, that are completely eaten alive by the swamp monsters.
Yeah.
How do you get rid of it? It's a tough problem.
Get rid of it
Trump
by
is doing what he can.
you get rid of it by voting in people that will not get paid off or will not be corrupted by the payoffs that are available. That's really it. So that's
To
how you
even
get
get
rid of it.
there, though, to even get there at that level, usually there's a lot of pats on the back that need to happen.
You know
So it's
what?
very difficult.
It's time to save the country. Well, I hope that you're doing well, and
I
you
appreciate
have your
that.
show on tonight or no?
Yeah, I'm gonna be. I thought I might have a guest on, but as I mentioned on Wednesday, wasn't quite sure. Probably won't have a guest, but I will go live at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. I will be breaking down the markets, kind of reviewing price action for some of the targets that we have now hit across various markets, including Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies.
Let's fucking go. Tune into Landy. Market update. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Looking forward to seeing it, and I'll chat with you later, man. Hope you're feeling well.
All right, thanks, brother. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, bro. All right. We had Landy and Rob. I wish I could have had Rob and Landy on at the same time. But I guess there was a reason why, because maybe I had to get that shit out of my system. I don't know. Maybe that shit was in I have no clue. Maybe that was just like, I don't even know why I exploded today. I really don't know. I was having a good time. Obviously, we were talking about crypto earlier today. Shout out to Midnight, by the way. Midnight. Poly Market. Shout out to Poly Market. Cake Wallet. By the way, it looks like the Republican Party is catching up to the Democrats for House. I just saw this. There's a poll that came out. Which states, hold on, let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. The Republican Party is catching up. It might not be so easy for the Democrats to just take the House away from the Republican Party. Well, let's take a look at this here. So this just in, a new poll just found House Republicans gained in the 2026 congressional ballot. There is now just a 2-point gap with Democrats. So 46D to 44% R. Donald Trump approval rating is also +2. So there you go. We might see the Republican Party. We might see the Republican Party hold. You don't know. You don't know? That's crazy. Anyway, that'll be a huge comeback. That'll be a huge comeback. Shout out to the sponsors. Shout out, and I think this for the Democratic Party, you know, it's crazy because they had I think the Democrats had 100% had the House in the bag. You know, with the war in Iran, or the operation, whatever you fucking want to call it, but everything that's happening in the Middle East, you also have, you know, you just have a lot of shit going on in America. And then I think, I honestly think the turning point has been these Democrat socialists coming into play. And that has really, I really think has given the Republican Party something to talk about. And it's obviously caused infighting within the Democratic Party. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by what's happening here. Anyway, we'll be right back. Let's talk about crypto. Tell everybody, reshare the room. Let's talk about crypto. Let's end this Friday about talking about crypto right after this commercial break.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh, wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back. Welcome back to the breakdown, episode 754. Let's go. I want to check out two things. One, let's look at Polymarket right now. Polymarket is the official prediction market sponsor of the breakdown. So let's look at Polymarket. Just looking, LeBron James, man, going to the 76ers is wild. It's wild work, man. I really, honestly, I still got massive energy. It's sunny out. I'm definitely going to hit the streets, work out in the sun. It's always a great thing to do. Get a tan and shit. But let's look at the balance. Let's look at the balance of power 2026 midterm elections here from Polymarket. Go ahead and jump into this quickly. Shout out to Polymarket. What a great group of people. Shout out to Polymarket, man. Anyway, balance of power 2026. 2026. It is now, it still has the Democrat sweep in terms of taking the House. Not the Senate, but the House. 44%, up 23%. Then we have Democratic Senate, Republican House, 2% chance. We have a Republican Senate and Democratic House at 41%. Republican sweep, 15%. Hold on. I'm going to have to disagree. I'm going to have to disagree with the 44%. I really think the Republicans have a shot right now to hold. I really do believe that. I really do. Democrats sweep at 44%. I don't see them taking the Senate or the House. Like, am I reading this wrong? I just do not see the Democrats taking the House and Senate. I don't see it happening. I can understand if it was the Republican Senate and the Democratic House. Okay. But even that, I think there's going to be a tremendous comeback right now in the next few months. You're going to see a tremendous comeback by the Republican Party. If they can just get their messaging right, and if they can actually get the SAVE Act passed, which is crazy that they can do that. So anyway, go to polymarket.com. I use Polymarket for me personally, I use it to see what's happening in the streets right now. That's what I use it for. You get that instantaneous, all these instantaneous data points to go ahead and look at to get a better understanding of what the people are thinking. It's better than the polls. I think it's better than the polls because the polls they call up like 6 people. 4 people answer, and then here you go. They get their thing. So that's that over there. Let's go to, shout out to, again, sponsored by Polymarket. Shout out to Polymarket. Let's go to Midnight City. Let's go to Midnight City. What's some play now? Let's go. Let's go. Oh, got that part. Yes, allow, man. What the hell? I did sign in. What the fuck is going on? Nah, hold on. Something is not right. Hold on. Something ain't right. What the fuck? Okay. Something ain't right. Something ain't right, man. Something is not right with my Midnight City. What the hell happened? What the hell happened with Midnight City? Yo, if my AI agent got banned, like I don't know, man. I'm getting banned all over the place. This is crazy. This is crazy. And I didn't even get nothing. The hell do you mean if my account exists? What the fuck is happening? What is happening? What is happening here, man? I think I got banned. I think I got banned from Midnight City. I might be the first person to ever get banned from. Am I like the first person? Now, what the hell is happening, man? I am the first person probably who got banned on Midnight City. What the fuck is going on? I can't even log in. Wow, that is wild, man. I can't log into Midnight City. I cannot log in. They took me out. That's it. They took me out. They took your boy out. Nope. Can't log in. They took me out, man. Why? What'd I do? Yeah, it's true. My bot's always my goddamn AI agent is obviously always sleeping. What the hell happened, man? Why can't I? What the fuck is this shit? I can't log in. I cannot log into Midnight City. I need somebody from Midnight City to absolutely contact me. I am upset right now. I am absolutely upset. Unacceptable. This is unacceptable. This is absolutely unacceptable that I am not. What the hell? What the hell? What the fuck? Yeah, I'm sending an email to everybody. I am sending an email to everybody's ass. I'm upset. I am upset. What the fuck? I really am kicked out, man. Am I really kicked out? This is crazy, man. And I asked for. God damn it, man. This is messed up, man. This is absolutely messed up. Damn it. What did I do wrong? I must be fucking up on my side. This is what happens when you fucking I start talking shit about I don't understand. Like, what the fuck? Send. Okay. Like, what the fuck? Come on. Come on, man. This is messed up. This is messed up, man. I might have gotten kicked out of Midnight City. I must have been yelling at somebody in Midnight City. This is crazy, man. Crazy. Oh boy. All right, I got a call on that. I gotta make a phone call on that shit. Anyway, welcome to the breakdown episode 754, sponsored by Midnight. I'm currently not in Midnight City, apparently. Currently not in Midnight. It's beautiful outside. I gotta say, it's very beautiful outside. Polymarket, the official prediction market sponsor of the breakdown. Also, Cake Wallet, one of the most secure wallets that we have in our space. Your holding Litecoin, Monero, Bitcoin, Zcash. Look at Cake Wallet, all right? Look at Cake Wallet, and also go check out Radar Chat, all right? Who's this guy, and what did he do with David? Who's this guy? Who's this guy? You lucky. You know what? I don't have time, but I would absolutely surgically annihilate you today, Bits. You're lucky. You're lucky that fucking gorgeous house. Hold on. What's the weather like tomorrow, too? Oh, we're looking like we're having a good weekend. We're looking like I'm gonna come back here even darker than I am now. Let's fucking go. All right. I really do. I want to give a shout out to everybody who's tuned in this week. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I've gone almost 3 hours with the show, so an extra hour. So you're welcome. Okay, you are absolutely welcome to be in my presence. You are welcome. We talked about crypto. I talked about, I guess, the KOL/creator coin meta. What I feel about it. I think I've already mentioned this multiple times, that supply control obviously is big. It's 100% big. You gotta build a foundation first, though. You have to absolutely, you can have supply control, but if there's no foundation and you have nobody supporting the meme and shit like that, then you can have 100% supply control and wouldn't mean anything. So, but I think it should be around 70% or over, something like that. 70% or over is probably the right amount. I don't believe in airdrops in the beginning. Maybe that's a conversation that you can have later on as the meme grows and stuff like that. But like early on, no. As the movement grows, I should really say as the movement continues to grow, that's kind of the way I look at it, because airdrops, you're incentivizing people. Like, people aren't even buying the meme. They're not even buying the concept. They're not supporting you. They're just waiting for a handout. All that sounds is like on-chain welfare. Like that, respectfully, I think that's on-chain welfare. Nothing more than that. Obviously, my personal mission has not changed, and that is, if we can be, if this movement can be something that sparks that energy that has been missing from the markets, then I am going to love it. And I want to be a part of it. And I just want to sing Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya with everybody. With everybody. But it's ultimately up to the community to go ahead and do things. Somebody said once, I'm not your servant. I didn't ask you to be my servant. Nor has that ever been implied. I think my mentality comes from, this is what leadership does. You push people to be great. Okay? You push people not to depend on anybody to make moves. You know the game plan, you know at least you know some sort, or you have the cliff note version of the blueprints. So like you know what you need to do. I said this a long time ago. Maybe if it was ego driven, maybe I would show everybody what I can do. Look at the market cap. Told you I can move. I still got motion. But it's not about that. I want to fucking build something cool, man. Don't you want to be a part of something fucking legendary, legacy, and all this shit? Like, what the fuck are we talking about? I did go over some of the creator tokens out there, and I just gave it wasn't hate. I just gave my opinions on where I think it went wrong. And I'm not saying it's dead. I'm just saying in general that it could have been better if people weren't fucking airdropped tokens in the beginning. Do it when it really has value, and reward the holders. That's really what it comes down to. So anyway, thanks for tuning in this week. Next week we got some people coming on here, and we'll chop it up and have some good conversations. I'm back to bringing people on here to have some really cool discussions, some long format and some just 15 to 20 minutes. I don't know. Every single time people come on here, I say 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then it turns into fucking an hour. So, but those are the conversations I have. And I'm happy that people do come onto the show or want to come onto the show. By the way, my show, it's funny. Somebody sent me videos that they're not watching this show on their phone. They're watching the show on their TVs. And that's really cool. Like, that is fucking cool. The motherfuckers are watching this show on their television sets as they're doing who the fuck knows what. So, anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Hope you enjoy yourselves. I hope you guys are looking at your portfolios and saying, you know what, I got to get them shits in the right position. Forget about everything else. Make sure your ports are good and you're prepared for the market that is to come, because it's going to be phenomenal. Do not miss out. Don't start chasing tops. You got the ability to front run the entire market. Do so. Fucking do so. Okay? I love you guys. Honestly, I 100% I love you guys. I respect the fuck out of you. You show up every day. A lot of you guys have been showing up for 10 years. I respect the fuck out of you guys. Thank you, TikTok, for limiting my reach again today for, I don't know, God knows what. No, I am reaching out an email. I want to speak to the CEO, COO, CBO. I want to speak to everybody. This can't be happening. But I just want everybody to remember before I go, I have not unleashed anything yet. Not a single thing. And I know this is repetitive, but I'm going to say it again for the hearing impaired, so read my lips. I have not gone on TikTok. I have not gone on YouTube. I have not gone on X. I have not gone on Truth Social. I have not gone on Getter. I will name the list. Instagram, Threads. I have not done anything at all. Just like the clip said before from the clipping team, I just said hachu. That is it. We shall see what happens. Either you're right or I'm right. We'll see. We shall see. I'm ready to take on the weekend. On that note, I'm out. Man, it felt good not to be in a suit today. It actually felt good not to be in the suit today.